This week, you're not going to figure things out with your mind. If you want to get the most out of this new moon in Pisces, if you want to get the most out of this next week ahead, the secret is in your emotions, in how you feel, and getting into your body and surrendering to those feelings, transmuting your feelings and allowing your feelings to bring you messages, allowing your feelings to bring you into flow. We are really getting escorted away from our mind. And so if you try to use your mind this week, you're just going to feel frustrated. You're going to feel heavier. You'll feel more blocked. The breakthrough this week comes from allowing divine flow. It comes from slowing down, from listening to what your feelings and emotions have to say. This is what Mars retrograde in Cancer has been preparing us for the last 2 months. This is what we trained for. So Mars retrograde is officially over. It ended on Sunday. And this is the first week we're integrating all of those lessons. One of the biggest things I found with Mars retrograde is it was either getting people who take a lot of action to slow down and to show them that when they slow down and connect to themselves, they actually take a lot more efficient action in their life and they can work less and make more because they're leaning on not just themselves now, but they're leaning on the magic of life. They're surrendering to the magic of life and they're surrendering to how things feel and getting to those deeper layers of what truly would bring them emotional fulfillment, which couldn't happen unless you slow down. Now, for other people, it was that they weren't taking any action. They were allowing themselves to stay safe and hide and not do anything. And so then for a lot of those people, what Mars retrograde did is it had you really connect to the feeling that was holding you back so that you can unlock the feeling that's going to move you forward, so that you can actually lean into more bravery and let go of the past. So whatever direction you went with Mars retrograde, whether you were forced to slow down, to speed up, maybe sometimes you were forced to slow down and then you sped up and then you had to slow down again, you're likely feeling more connected to yourself. There's been lessons coming up if you have been learning lessons. If you haven't been learning lessons, join my Cosmic Co-Creatrix community because I guide you all the time, every single week. Join Higher Self Healing Codes because then you'll have literally the ability to find the lessons for your specific birth chart anytime you want. Right now, more than ever, it is important to tap into your spirituality. So if you didn't learn those lessons over Mars retrograde over these last 2 months, this week might feel a little bit more challenging. You might be still in your head and fighting a lot of those mental thoughts. If you did learn lessons, this week is asking you to deepen those lessons, to slow down even more, listen to what your feelings are saying, you get into your body and allow your feelings to provide the next step forward. Because this new moon is literally an initiation into the unknown. It is training you to live your life from flow rather than force. And to live your life from flow requires a level of being in the present moment and a level of surrender and a level of not needing things to happen a certain way, not needing to stick to certain rules. And in fact, what you might have learned over the last couple months, that certain rules you had for yourself around what you needed to feel safe, maybe were proven wrong. Maybe they were proven that those were actually wounds more so than they were rules. And again, this week, if old rules are still popping up, you're going to transmute them. You're going to come into truth around them, but you're only going to come into truth around them if you slow down, get into your body, allow your emotions to flow, move your body, do breath work, meditate, just do things that break up that energy inside of you so that that energy can give your mind a new thought. That energy can feed your mind as opposed to your mind feeding your body. We are in the eclipse portal right now. This Pisces new moon is part of the eclipse portal. The eclipse is going to be on March 14th. It's going to be in Virgo. It's a lunar eclipse in Virgo. And a lunar eclipse means we are shedding. We are purging. It's a letting go. And it's around Virgo themes. You want to know the highest expression of Virgo. and how Virgo works. The highest expression of Virgo is a strong mind-body connection. The highest expression of Virgo, it does not allow the mind to be the master. No, the mind is not the master in the highest expression of Virgo. The body is the master, and the body informs the mind. When Virgo goes awry is when the mind thinks the master. No, the mind's a slave. And actually, Virgo is traditionally the archetype of the slave. Why? Because when you're in the disempowered Virgo state, you're working from the mind, you're working from a limited, small, detailed reality, and the mind keeps your world small. The highest expression of Virgo is being of service from power, being of service from true healing. Not healing as the wounded healer, not healing from wounds, but healing from healing from healing itself. And true healing energy comes from the body up through the mind, which is why this week is preparing you for this Virgo eclipse in a couple weeks, because it wants you to get into your body, not your mind. We are shedding being overly analytical. We are shedding being overly perfectionistic. We're shedding thinking we can control things by having a certain plan, and that plan has to work out or it has to happen or we will explode and die and have poop everywhere. Why did I say poop? I said poop because Virgo rules the guts, and when Virgo is out of balance, we can have some constipation, we could have some diarrhea, we can have some IBS issues. You feel me? People who have a lot of Virgo energy can have that IBS in there. People who have a lot of Mercury energy in their chart can have that IBS gut stuff, and that is only when Virgo's out of check because it's using its mind too much. It's not allowing the body to inform the mind. It's letting the mind run the show. And I get it. It's scary to allow the body to inform the mind because it requires surrender. It requires you to let go of control. It requires you to take one step at a time going into the unknown. And frig, do I know how hard that is? That has been one of the biggest lessons of my life. But it's also been the things that have freed me in my life. If people have been listening to my podcast for a long time, I have gone through deep transformation in my life. I was a girl who didn't talk. I was a girl who was obese. I didn't have any friends. And that was when I was way more in my head. And now I live life very risky to most people. But really, it's because I'm connected to something deeper. And I've learned to love the unknown. I've learned that the unknown is actually where all the magic is, where all the connection to self is, where the true grounding is, but we are taught to fear it. We are taught to control life. And I just am saying this message to you because I want you to deeply know this for this new moon. The more you try to control life with your mind, the more anxious you will get. So drop into your body. It is literally your key to healing. That and following your spirituality. I'm interrupting this podcast episode because I have a gift for you. So I've been using ChatGPT to unlock major awarenesses around different astrological transits. And I've been doing this inside my Cosmic Co-Creatrix membership as well. So I wanted to offer you guys a free gift. I have a ChatGPT prompt that lays out the exact transits for this Pisces new moon. All you have to do is copy and paste it, put in your rising sign, and then put that into ChatGPT, and it will tell you all of the lessons that you specifically get to learn around this new moon, specific to you and your rising sign. And it will also tell you how you can come into the most empowerment at this new moon so that you can have the biggest breakthrough ever. This is a new moon in Pisces, so leaning on spirituality will do you well. All right, we can get back into the episode. If you want to find the free gift, it is down in the show notes. So, this new moon is happening at 9 degrees Pisces. So let's read the Sabian symbol for this new moon. It will describe the flavor of Pisces that this new moon is bringing for us. So we round up to Pisces 10, an aviator in the clouds. This symbol represents elevation of consciousness, visionary perspectives, and transcending limitations. It suggests an ability to rise above mundane concerns. Want to know what the mundane is, Virgo? Virgo's all like, oh, I have to do all these things. I have to get everything perfect. The mundane. I have to tend and do all the things and keep moving. So again, it suggests an ability to rise above mundane concerns and gain a higher viewpoint. A higher viewpoint. The image of an aviator in the clouds speaks to trusting intuition, navigating uncertainty, and having faith in one's journey, even when visibility or clarity is limited. This is what the North Node in Pisces is teaching us. This is what Pisces energy in general teaches us. Pisces is a fog. Pisces is a cloud because it is connected to limitless possibilities. And you can either take one step at a time through the Pisces fog and go down a trail of fear and follow the fear and allow the fear to lead you to more fear, because that's how Pisces work. Whatever you lean into, you get more of. Or you can lean into faith. You can slow down. You can trust that divine energy that moves through you, that it's guiding you, that if you feel anxious, it wants you to move your body, it wants you to cry, it wants you to connect to that feeling, it wants you to shake, it wants you to breathe. It has a message for you, and it wants you to stay with the feeling long enough so it can give you that message. And that message you get from Pisces energy gives you one step forward. It doesn't give you a whole path. And that is how Pisces both creates magic in its life, but it's also why it's easy for Pisces energy to move into self-sabotaging behavior, because when you don't see the whole path ahead and you don't know all the magic that's coming, it's really easy for the other timelines to come in, the fear to pop in, and for you to get thrown off course, especially with the mind. The mind makes it really easy for you to get thrown off course. So this new moon is a deepening of surrendering to how things feel, a deepening of connecting to yourself so that you can stay in alignment with the things that expand your energy step by step, instead of staying in alignment with fear and control and force and what you think you need to do because it's right here, right now, and it seems so mundane, and I have to pay my bills, so I have to do this. That's the fear path of Pisces energy. You can keep following it, but that's why people stay stuck in certain scarcity patterns and certain relationship patterns, because they keep following the same stream of energy that's not truly rooted in love. It's actually rooted in some fear or fake love, or it's rooted in something that's not deeply connected to your truth. And we can know that Pisces energy is going to throw you off course if you take action from constriction. If you take action from expansion, like if you allow Pisces to give you a message in an expanded state and you take a step from there, that is how we can navigate the Pisces fog to move you towards magic. So pay attention to that at this new moon. Do I feel contracted? And if I feel contracted, how can I breathe into that contraction, relax it, ask it what it needs, and come into expansion? This isn't a mental process. This is breathing. This is moving. This is allowing for life to unfold. I know it's confusing. Confusing to me too. And every time I surrender enough to allow the answer to come to me, I'm always like, oh my God, I would have never thought of that. And it's literally the thing that always quantum leaps my life. It happens for you too. This is how it works. So the key themes of this new moon are really seeing beyond the immediate obstacles and maintaining faith in your course, not allowing little upsets to throw you off course. Because remember, Pisces energy just wants you to focus on the next best, most aligned step. It doesn't want you to control the whole journey. So if something doesn't work, it doesn't mean it's not aligned with you. Don't allow the Pisces energy to throw you off to the self-sabotaging side. We're forgetting the mundane, we're forgetting the old path, we're building a new path. So it's not a bad thing, it's just a redirection for you to go into more expansive energy. What will be more expansive? Another theme is spiritual or mental ascension. So rising above challenges to maintain a broader, more enlightened perspective. That's just what I was talking about. When something happens on your path that's not desirable, it's not thinking, okay, this isn't for me, it's a piece of poop. It's, okay, what's the higher perspective of this not working out for me? How can I come into more empowerment for myself? A big part of this new moon is escaping illusions. We're going to have Jupiter in Gemini square this new moon. So Jupiter in Gemini has been expanding our mindset. It's been expanding how we think about things through experience, because Jupiter is about giving you wisdom through direct experience. And because Jupiter's been expanding our mind through the direct experience, right? Like, think about Mars retrograde. I just read a chart for one of my friends the other day, and he said he's been slowing way down this Mars retrograde, and actually things have been working out better. And so now his mind and his perspective on how he should go about working is expanding because he had direct experience. Jupiter in Gemini. That's what I mean. You see what I'm saying? But the thing is when Jupiter in Gemini, it wants to keep growing and expanding. It wants to move fast. It's like, okay, give me more and more and more of these lessons. The challenge is it wants to know the lessons. It just wants to go fast. But Pisces doesn't work that way. And so the square from Jupiter and Gemini is a challenging aspect to the new moon, because the Pisces new moon is like, I get you want to have new wisdom. I get you want to grow and expand in your mind so you can continue to open up opportunities and build your life and have all the abundance and wealth you want. But it's not going to come from your mind. And Jupiter in Gemini wants to keep thinking about it, so it can come from its mind. It's like, come on, and it feels so good. Let me keep thinking about it. I can find the answer. But the square to the new moon in Pisces is like, listen, you cannot create this new life from the same level of thinking, so you have to surrender the thinking. You have to surrender the feeling that's making you want to think in that way, and you have to get into your body and follow that expansive feeling. Slow down, one step at a time, follow the expansive feeling. It will bring you into a new experience that expands your mind, but that is secondary. The other thing happening at this new moon is we have Uranus and Taurus sextile Mercury in Pisces. This is another aspect helping you, teaching you, giving you an opportunity. A sextile is an opportunity you get to take a hold of, helping you be more present so you can slow down and actually get into the stream of divine flow, that expansive energy. Nature is slow. That's what Uranus and Taurus has been awakening us to. It's been awakening you to the fact that nature is slow. It's slow. And for some reason, we think that we are the exception to nature. But if you truly want to be in divine flow, you don't race forward with the mind. Uranus and Taurus, you have a breakthrough in your values, Taurus's values, and Taurus is also about slowing down, moving with the pace of nature, playing the long game, staying connected to your nature so you can stay connected to what you truly value and build your life from what you value. That is the most grounded, stable way you're going to build this life. That's how you're going to unlock all of your magic, by connecting to your roots, to connecting to your senses, to how things feel. Taurus, sensual, get sensual with yourself. You know, one thing I used to do when I used to host women's retreats, and this thing would always be the thing that unlocked the most breakthroughs for people. Heck, it's the thing that unlocks so many breakthroughs for me outside of self-concept work and astrology. And it is, we would spend all day getting into our body. We would do a practice called unwinding, and we'd get on all fours, and I would tell people, you know that feeling you get when you wake up in the morning and you just want to like stretch your arms and you yawn and it feels so good, and you move into all these weird positions and you're like, yeah. And if anyone saw you move, you just look weird, like you're yawning and stretching, and your body wants to unwind in that way more often throughout the day than you realize. And if you just practice that all week, heck, the whole time, the North Node's in Pisces, South Node's in Virgo, getting into your body and moving into the crevices and flexing the muscles and stretching the muscles that feel so good in your body, it's unwinding information for you. Your body is connected to your mind. And the more you're going to open up your body right now, Taurus, the more you get into your senses and get juicy and connected to those feelings, ugh, Also, Mars is in Cancer, so that's another, it just adds to what I'm saying. The more you do that, the more you're going to have your answers in the next step forward. That's this breakthrough we're having with Uranus and Taurus sextiling Mercury and Pisces, because Mercury is how we think and communicate, but in Pisces, it doesn't think in a logical, linear way like Mercury wants to. It thinks in more of a mystical, magical way. It's living in the subconscious. It's connected to our self-sabotaging behavior. It's connected to limitless possibilities. It's connected to the current reality, like a reality bubble that you're choosing to live within, like a web. But when you move your body, the web opens and you have new possibilities, more possibilities that come in. And so the more you could get connected to your senses this new moon, your body, the more you slow down, you get present, you look forward and play the long game. You connect to your self-worth and what you really value. And you ask yourself, if I really owned my worth and what I valued, would I do any of this shit? Or would I have to slow down more to connect to what I really value? I have a feeling most of us don't even know what we value right now because a lot of stuff's dissipating away. And so this slowing down is just for you to even connect to what you truly value, like what your truth really is, because we've been living for other people and by these other rules, but from our upbringing, from our ancestry for so long. Like you have millions of years, or I don't know how many years, of ancestral lineages that have programmed into you. And so most of the time it hasn't programmed you to just trust what you value. It's programmed you to do something different for most of us. That's why the last 2 years, the South Node was in Libra. But at this new moon, Lilith in Libra is in conjunct the North Node in Pisces. What this is showing me is in conjunct is an aspect that's hard to balance. It's hard to manage. Lilith in Libra, it's where we feel rejected by other people for being truly ourselves. And what Lilith does is it stuffs its truth so far down that it doesn't even know its truth. It's so far down there, it's hard to even access, and it will come out in anger. It will come out in being angry that things aren't fair. And so with Lilith in Libra in conjunct the North Node in Pisces, this is a karmic activation at this new moon. The North Node, whenever it's being touched, it's karmic. Always needed to happen. And again, the North Node's in Pisces, it's about karmic endings. Is Pisces is trying to close out self-sabotaging patterns, is trying to close out cycles that you've picked up from your ancestry and patterns you've picked up from your upbringing. And so anger might come up at this new moon. Frustration might come up around like trying to figure out who the F you are and what you really want because you've lived this way for other people so much. Or it could even be anger in relation to other people, feeling stifled from other people and realizing, wow, these people really don't get me, and getting angry about it. Because so many people are living a misaligned life just because they think they've created this superficial life. Libra can also be a little superficial. They've stuffed down their true life and created more of a superficial life. And so they have friends that are not exactly in alignment with them. Clients not exactly in alignment with them. A job not exactly in alignment with them. And so anger could be coming at this new moon because it doesn't feel right. And you could be angry about it. It could be hard to be compassionate. And what that's trying to do is that anger wants to come up so you can get connected to what's true for you. And sometimes that will come with actually tearing down everything in your life, getting rid of all the friendships, getting rid of all the job, getting rid of all of the things, and like tearing it all down so that the new day-to-day can start to be built. And that's also a scary thing. So if you feel that way at this new moon, that like nothing is aligned, it's not that there's something wrong with you. It's that, yeah, you've been taught to build your life from out of alignment like most of us have. And there is a call to tear down everything not in alignment and to trust so deeply that by you leaning into what really expands your energy, that you'll have a whole new group of friends that come in, a whole new job that comes in, a whole new this that comes in that's completely in alignment with you. And you want to know that is going to start happening over the month of March with Venus retrograde. It's going to be in Aries. Aries is the self. It's your self-concept. It's your identity. Venus is how we receive, what we love, what we attract. And when it's in retrograde, we're reflecting and reviewing, what do I truly love? What is truly in alignment with my values? What's truly in alignment with my worth? What relationships are? How do I go about making money in a way that's truly in alignment with who I am? So you have that opportunity in these coming months. The cosmos are set up for it. So if you feel like you have to tear a lot of things down at this new moon in order to plant seeds for this new life that you have no idea how it's going to show up, I wouldn't say that that's very weird to happen right now. That actually would make perfect sense. And I'm not saying this to scare anyone. That's not the point of this. The point of this is to excite you and to empower you into really knowing that if life doesn't feel right for you right now, it is not you. Lilith in Libra will make you think it's you, but it's not you. It's everyone else. And it's just that you were taught to allow yourself to lower yourself for life standards instead of allowing life to meet your standards. And now you're moving into life meeting your standards. That's also this Uranus and Taurus sextile Mercury and Pisces. You're thinking in a way of like, am I really leaning into what expands me, or am I allowing a lot of things that contract me and drain my energy into my life? It's a lot of connecting to energy these next 2 years with the North Node in Pisces. Now, where we have some support, Jupiter in Gemini is sextile Venus in Aries. And this is right before Venus in Aries goes retrograde this weekend. So remember, we talked about Jupiter in Gemini is trying to expand your mind. It's trying to give you new experiences to expand your mind. A sextile is an opportunity. So this is not going to happen naturally, but it is a harmonious opportunity for you to take a hold of. When Jupiter in Gemini sextiles Venus in Aries again is how we go about receiving based on who we are. And so this could be you expanding your mind to really come into understanding your value, what you truly value, and who you truly are. Venus is what we have allowed into our life because Venus is receiving. It can represent how we go about receiving by how much we hold our worth. And so if you hold your worth very low, then you're not going to expect to receive much and you'll block a lot of receiving. If you hold your worth really high, then you won't allow things that are not in alignment with your values into your life, and you will increase receiving. And so there's an opportunity to realign yourself with receiving abundance. Jupiter is abundance at this new moon. If you really lean into yourself and how you feel and what would truly bring you that expansive feeling in your body and emotional fulfillment. Saturn in Pisces, which is trying to help you get clear on what expands your energy and put boundaries around what expands your energy and cut out the things that don't expand your energy, is going to be in a harmonious aspect to Mars and Cancer at this new moon. And Mars and Cancer is having you take action from what will truly bring you emotional fulfillment, which are the things that expand you. And what will truly bring you emotional safety. So that's what I have for this new moon in Pisces. It's very mystical, very magical, very spiritual, and we're going deeper into the unknown, deeper into the eclipse portal. So let me know, what big new moon in Pisces lessons do you feel are coming up? Do you feel like you have to get rid of certain things? Are you walking into things that feel more expansive for you, that you're more excited about? I would love to know. You can either email me at shineyourrayastrology@gmail.com or put a little comment below if you're watching on YouTube. I love you guys. Have the best new moon in Pisces. One thing I didn't mention is the highest vibration of Pisces is unconditional love and compassion. And I have so much love for you guys. And I hope that you can extend that unconditional love and compassion back to yourself this week and to anyone you meet. I love you. Have the best new moon.